Welcome to today's lesson where we are going to look at 6 words, 6 that you need for Toeic and Business English. So before we start, please share, subscribe, like, do all those things. Okay, let's look at the vocab. The first vocab is consecutive. This is an adjective. And consecutive means in a row without a break. There is often a number before it. Let's look at an example. In the last month, the team has played 10 games. They have not lost. They have won every game. The team has won 10 consecutive games. Or you look at Coca-Cola, very popular. Coca-Cola has been the world's top-selling soft drink for 60 consecutive years, so in a row. Of course, the adverb for consecutive is consecutively. So I want you to finish the following sentence with your own idea. All right, so I'm going to use my idea about my life. I have drunk coffee in the morning for 1,500 consecutive days, I think. Okay. The next word is apply. Now, apply has 3 different meanings. Yes, 3. Now let's look at 3 different examples. First, I applied the cream to my rash. I applied paint thinner on the wall to get the old paint off. So we can see the form here is subject applies object to something, and that means put on. All right, so if you apply something to your skin, you are putting it on, often a cream or a lotion. Number 2, the next way we can use apply is the new safety rules apply to all employees at the company. The restrictions on travel do not apply to diplomats. So this form is often rules, restrictions, or laws apply to someone, so it affects those people. It might not affect other people, but it affects those people, the rules. And once again, as I mentioned, we look at laws. Laws should apply to all people, but sometimes they don't. Okay, the next form of apply is I applied for a loan. I applied to the bank for a loan. I applied for a job. I applied to the company for a job. So if somebody applies to an organization, they are making a formal request to the organization. If someone applies for something, that is what they want. Okay, so let's look at some TOEIC style questions. Let's look at 133 here. Pause your screen if you need time. All right, so we look at this and the answer here is being. So we can see the original would probably after it had been, but notice the subject in after is the same as in the main clause. They would both be it. So if the subject is the same, you can reduce it to verb ing. For example, after I saw my friend, I went home. After seeing my friend, I went home. So it was the highest rated show on television. So we can change that to being. Become would be wrong because you can't become something for 8 consecutive years. If you become something, it is quick. It is one time. All right, let's look at 122. Okay, so this person is saying when you apply, and we apply to the university. Okay, we apply to the university because we want to enter the university, so we are applying to the university for a seat or for a position. So the answer here is applying. So the idea is when you apply to the university, please attach your transcripts. when applying to the university, please attach your transcripts. All right, 125. Well, we know we need a noun here. The only noun is a, application. So they declined my application. Okay, so let's look at the next three words. Number 4, this is the fourth word, is entitle. And entitle is give someone the right to. This is often passive voice. For example, the law entitles the people the right to vote. So people are entitled to vote, or people are entitled the right to vote. Let's look at another example. The contract entitles employees to 2 weeks of vacation a year. So the contract says they have the right to this. More common, employees are entitled to 2 weeks of vacation a year. If you have a coupon, you might say this coupon entitles you to 1 free hamburger. All right, number 5 is confidential. Confidential means secret. Now, it's the formal use of secret often used in business. For example, the details of the contract are confidential. Only the 2 parties who sign the contract are entitled to know the details and how they will be applied. A common collocation is to keep something confidential. So we need to keep this meeting secret. We need to keep this meeting confidential. And a little note, if you tell someone that what you tell them is confidential, you told them in confidence. So if you tell someone in confidence, you're saying this is a secret. If you tell someone with confidence, that means you are being a very confident person. All right, let's look at the last word, is initial. This is an adjective that describes something that existed at the start or the beginning. Okay, but it's often changed. Here's an example. The initial plan for the company was to open 10 stores in 2 years. So that was their sort of first plan. However, because of COVID, they have reduced that number to 5. Let's look at another example. When I first met her, my initial impression was that she was a very serious woman. But after a couple of months, I realized she was easygoing. So the adverb for initial is initially. So you might say, I initially thought Toeic was hard, but now I think it's easy. Let's look then at 3 more Toeic questions. 111. Well, she told me this in confidence. So in confidence means she told me as a secret. I can't tell anyone. Let's look at number 131. Well, we need an adjective here because my blank concern. So concern is being used as a noun, so I need an adjective. My only adjective is a, initial. And the last one, 103, this is the most difficult. Well, the answer here is B, given. You can say given noun or given that subject plus verb, and this can equal because of. However, if you use given, you usually are going to go noun or subject verb after it. For example, because of the cold weather, I decided to stay home. Given that the weather was cold, I decided to stay home. Given the cold weather, I decided to stay home. Now, the answer is not A for 103 because it's followed directly by subject verb. It's not C because as is followed directly by subject verb. Know that. And owing to is followed not by that subject verb. Owing to is followed directly by a noun form. So remember, given that you know this, the next time you see a given question, it will be easy. All right, everyone. So here's 6 new vocabulary. I hope you learned something. Have a wonderful day.